These three questions come from Luigi Maro. The first question reads, what inspired you to do YouTube in the first place? Well, it all started all the way back into, I believe, in the early days of YouTube, where I watched some plush videos, namely the ones from Cute Mario Bros. And Super Mario Logan, you know, the old Super Mario Logan before the Bowser Jr. era. So I really liked watching these videos, and it kind of inspired me to do some of these videos on my own, but I didn't really have the extensive plush collection that these guys have, or at least something more closer to what Cute Mario Bros. Did. So one day, when I went back home after getting Happy Meal toys from McDonald's about these Despicable Me 2 toys, I wanted to use them into a couple of YouTube videos that I wanted to do for quite some time. So I picked up my iPad and I decided to record those videos from there, and that's technically where I started my journey from there. Now, I don't really have these videos anymore because I deleted them, but I'll always look back at these memories as my starting point for my entire YouTube journey in the first place. I don't know if it's telling of where I am now, but yeah. The second question reads, who are your favorite YouTubers? As of late, one of my absolute favorite YouTubers to watch in my pastime is Born Losers Gaming. These guys are essentially Let's Players that I can actually kind of connect with in some way. These guys are just really hilarious in general, and the fact that I discovered them through their Pizza Tower Let's Play is kind of telling that their comedy is really just something that I enjoy a lot, and I do recommend you guys check them out if you can. Otherwise, not much to say really. I'm not that good at describing why I like the channels that I watch. They just amuse me in some way. And this last question reads, if you could make any changes to one Mario Kart track, Nitro or Retro, what would you change? I'd actually change Wario Stadium from Mario Kart 64. As it stands now, this course is really long and kind of boring with this dull atmosphere, and the course had no right to be 3 laps long. For that, I decided to sketch up my interpretation of what Wario Stadium would look like if I were to remake the track myself. As you can see, I did cut some corners with some of these turns, but I feel like it was kind of necessary because the layout itself was just really artificially long in a sense. Of course, this isn't completely accurate, and I do understand if you guys prefer the way this originally looked, but to me, the way I would want to change Wario Stadium is to make it less shorter, and if it still happens to be too long, I'll at least make it 2 laps. I think that's the perfect length for it, but knowing Nintendo, they'll probably make it a section-based track, and I absolutely cannot see that happening. It's just impossible in my head. This next question comes from Chara's Toys. Congrats on 1K subscribers. Here is my question. What would you rather do? Give up Stroll and Stew or quit YouTube? Ah man, that is really a hard choice. I don't know which one to pick. Surprisingly though, I actually already decided this way before I started making this video. I would honestly just kind of quit YouTube. Not because I hate doing YouTube. I do have some enjoyment in doing these YouTube videos. It's just that I don't really see myself doing YouTube on the long run. Like, I don't want to commit my entire life doing YouTube videos. Not because I necessarily hate making these videos, but it's more so about the fact that I can't really see myself commit to such a strong responsibility, you know? Like, I don't want to stress myself out over things like deadlines or if I need to put out this video fast enough. Like, if I put myself into that thought process, I get incredibly burned out and I get unmotivated to do these videos. Which is why the ones that I've been wanting to do for quite a long time always gets put off. Because I'm either lazy or I get intimidated by how long or large this video scale is. So I would honestly just kind of quit YouTube if I had the choice. But yeah, that is my answer to that. This next one comes from Waluigi, and much like Luigi Maro, he also asked 3 questions. This first one, don't mind this, says, what content do you think you could or will plan in the future? Well, I've already planned out my content to be more varied than it already is. I know you guys come over to this channel for Mario Kart content, and while I do enjoy making these videos, I also want to do videos based on the interests that I personally like. Right now, I'm actually making a video about Splatoon that I think would be my best yet. Even if, much like the rest of my other Splatoon videos, it might not really do as well. Which is really sad to think about. But I really do want to branch out my content into into more things than just Mario Kart, especially since the Booster Course Pass is about to end soon. And yeah, that's all. That's really all I have planned for the future. The second question asked, who is the best video game character besides Stroll and Stu? Well, funnily enough, I think this also relates to the first question a bit, as my favorite character in any video game is actually Harmony from Splatoon. She just radiates so much autism energy that I just can't help but appreciate. Not to mention, she has this really colorful appearance that I definitely do like, and the fact that her entire little story is that she just gets roped up into being the store manager after the original manager was just gone. It is so fascinating to me that I just can't help but be amused by. I also really like some of the songs that she produced with the fictional band Chirpy Chips, which is my favorite video game music ever. So, yeah, I really do like Harmony. And the third question asks, what are your opinions on Waluigi, Yoshi, Drybones, and Wiggler? First of all, you can't do Discord emotes on YouTube, stupid. And secondly, I'll probably share them independently in like short bursts. For Waluigi, I always feel like I was fascinated by Waluigi from his presence alone. Like, he's so wacky and weird that I just can't help but be amused by. Maybe that's why I like Harmony as well. I think I'm just really fascinated into weird characters. Yoshi is just Yoshi. Like, Yoshi is adorable, like, no denying that. But I don't feel as strong of an emotion for Yoshi as most other people do. Still, though, I do appreciate Yoshi. He is definitely one of my favorite Mario characters as a whole. Drybones, I was actually really intimidated by Drybones when I first saw him as a kid. Because my first Mario game in general was Mario Party DS, I didn't really know that the game was about being small. So when I got to DK's stone statue and saw this, I was a little freaked out. And it definitely didn't help that when I unlocked him later in Mario Kart DS and saw this, I was a little intimidated because the thought of just this giant skeleton turtle driving a car was like too scary for me. But nowadays, he's my favorite Mario enemy of all time. I just really think he's cool. And for Wiggler, Wiggler is not that interesting of an enemy in Mario games, but if he's in a sports game, or any kind of spin-off for that matter, I will be very fascinated. It would be my probable first pick if Drybones was not present. Usually, I tend to lean more towards characters like Waluigi or Donkey Kong if my favorite character is not present in any game. I'm not Odyssey Central, so... I mean, with that, maybe that's why I really like weird characters, because they always fascinate me in some sort of weird way. But yeah, that's all the questions I have for Waluigi. This last question comes from XXIvLoveXX, who was also my best friend. And, oh boy, some of these questions, you guys won't get them. It's a little kind of funny interaction we both have. So for the sake of this video, I'll only answer about 2 questions from here. Sorry, buddy. The first question asked, I've been pestering you about this for the past 4 years. When are you going to play a Fire Emblem game? Well, technically my first Fire Emblem game that I've played was the Fire Emblem remake on the Nintendo DS. But I never really got that far, so that doesn't really count. I do know that there is a Fire Emblem game on the Nintendo Switch Online service on the GBA games, so maybe one day I'll probably get around to playing that, but until then, probably not for a while. Also, fun fact, I actually own a copy of Fire Emblem Awakening, but for some reason my 3DS would not be able to read it. And we were both convinced that it's probably corrupted, so whoops. And the second and final question for the video, can I call you a poser for having a corn plush since you haven't played any Fates games? I don't know. I guess so. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Kind of underwhelming to end it on, but yeah, that is all the questions that I'm able to answer. It may not be the most extensive list out there, but just doing this video in general makes me really happy to do so. I've been wanting to do this type of video format for quite some time now, and I'm very glad that I at least have I have enough questions to at least make a decent length video out of it. So with that, thank you all so much for watching, guys. Let me know down in the comments if you guys want to see more Q&As in the near future. Probably not like the next video of sorts, because like I said before, I'm making a Splatoon video right now, but if you guys are interested nonetheless, do let me know down in the comments below. And as always, thank you guys for 1K subscribers again, and remember that Stu cares about you. Just thinking about doing that retro course Mario Kart Tour ranking video is like intimidating on its own. I'm not even finished with C tier yet. Oh my god.